Two cities, two men, two shadows moving through the night, each driven by pain, each sworn to protect a city that never sleeps. In Gotham, crime breathes like a disease. In Hell's Kitchen, it bleeds like an open wound. And at the heart of both stand two vigilantes forged by tragedy. One cloaked in a cape of fear, the other masked in the red of his sins. Batman and Daredevil, the Dark Knights of their cities. Gotham gave birth to a legend. The story of Bruce Wayne began with screams in an alley and the fall of two pearls onto cold pavement. That moment didn't just take his parents, it took his childhood. He vowed that night to wage a war on crime no law could contain. Years later, that vow became a symbol, the Batman. He turned fear into his weapon, blending intellect with terror. Every strike he made was justice served from the shadows. But across the river, in another world, another city gave rise to a man just as broken. Matt Murdock, a boy from Hell's Kitchen, lost his sight in a freak accident. But when the world went dark, something else awakened. His senses, heightened beyond imagination. He heard heartbeats like drumbeats of truth. He could feel lies in the rhythm of breath. And when injustice took his father's life, he became Daredevil, the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Two men, two tragedies, but the same truth. Pain can either destroy you or forge you. Gotham versus Hell's Kitchen. Gotham is a war zone disguised as a city. Its skyline is haunted by corruption, its alleys ruled by predators. Batman became its ghost, part myth, part warning. Every criminal knows the sound. A batarang slicing through silence, followed by a whisper of terror. But Hell's Kitchen? It isn't haunted, it's suffocating. It doesn't fear the dark. It is the dark. And Daredevil doesn't strike from above. He fights within the filth. Broken ribs, blood on his knuckles, confession through violence. Where Batman plans every move, Daredevil feels his way through chaos. Where Bruce builds armor, Matt carries scars. One uses fear as a mask. The other uses pain as penance. Both men understand something pure, justice demands sacrifice. And both have lost everything to prove it. Faith and vengeance. Batman's world is ruled by logic, strategy, discipline, and control. He's the detective, the tactician, the unbreakable will of man. But Daredevil's world is built on faith. He's a Catholic battling sin, not just in others, but within himself. Every punch he throws feels like judgment. Every wound he takes feels like redemption. Their cities mirror their souls. Gotham, the symbol of vengeance. Hell's Kitchen, the altar of guilt. Both are places where the law ends and conscience begins. And yet, despite all their differences, both men share the same curse, the inability to stop, even when it costs them everything. Because heroes like them don't fight to win. They fight because no one else will. The unseen connection. There's a night, one stormy, restless night, when their worlds nearly touch. Gotham's mob is expanding, flooding Hell's Kitchen with Wayne-Tech weapons stolen by the Kingpin. Batman traces the shipment to New York. Daredevil tracks the blood trail back to Gotham. Neither knows the other exists. Not yet. But they both sense something in the dark. A presence moving with the same precision, the same purpose, the same obsession. They are drawn to each other by instinct. Two predators circling the same prey. And when they finally cross paths, it's not a handshake. It's a storm of fists and rage. Because in their worlds, every shadow looks like an enemy. Batman sees a threat. Daredevil feels a monster. Both are wrong. But that misunderstanding will change everything. The night Gotham meets Hell's Kitchen is only beginning. And when it ends, both men will question not who they are, but what they've become. The Dark Knight, the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Two sides of the same broken soul. The rain falls heavy over Hell's Kitchen. Sirens scream. A rooftop glistens under the dim light of a dying moon. And from the edge of that rooftop, a dark figure watches, unmoving, calculating. Batman has come to New York. His mission: stop a shipment of Wayne-Tech weapons stolen and smuggled by the Kingpin himself. But something about this city feels different. The fear here doesn't hide in alleys. It walks in daylight. Batman's voice cuts through the comms. Lucius, I've tracked the weapons to this block. I'm going dark. And in a blink, he vanishes into shadow. But he's not alone. In the same breath of rain, another figure moves across the rooftops. Lighter. Quicker. He doesn't stalk, he listens. The beating hearts below tell him everything. 3 men with guns, 1 with a limp, 1 lying. Their boss, Wilson Fisk, the kingpin, controls half the city's underworld. And tonight, Fisk is playing with fire. Daredevil tightens his grip on his billy clubs. He's been chasing this case for weeks. A shipment of illegal weapons, new tech, too advanced for mob hands. Something called Wayne Enterprises Tactical Division. He doesn't know what it means, only that it's wrong, and that someone, somewhere, is arming the monsters. Then he feels it. Something moves behind him. Silent. Precise. It's not a thug. It's not Fisk. It's something else. Batman lands without a sound. The cape unfurls like a predator's wings. Who are you? His voice growls through the storm. Daredevil turns toward the sound. I could ask you the same. Their words are calm, but the tension is sharp enough to cut steel. Batman's lenses adjust, scanning the red-suited figure. Weapons, blunt. Armor, light. Stance, confident. Daredevil's radar sense picks up the vibrations. The man's heartbeat steady, slow, controlled. He's not afraid. He's something worse. He's prepared. You're in my city, Daredevil says. Correction, Batman replies. I'm cleaning it. Then the storm erupts. A punch. A block. A counter that echoes like thunder. Batman's strength is brutal, trained, surgical. Daredevil's agility is instinctive, reactive, fluid. Each movement a study in mastery, each strike a philosophy. Batman fights to subdue. Daredevil fights to endure. Both refuse to fall. The rooftop crumbles under the clash. Batman's gauntlet catches Daredevil's club mid-air. Daredevil twists, using the cape's momentum against him, flipping him hard onto the concrete. For a second, Batman stays down, calculating. Daredevil's heartbeat remains constant. You're good, Batman mutters. Better than most, Daredevil answers. Lightning flashes, illuminating both men for the first time. And in that single flash, they understand. They're not enemies. They're reflections. Moments later, a blast shakes the street below. Fire blooms from a warehouse marked Randall Imports. That's where the shipment was heading. Without a word, both men move, leaping from the rooftop, disappearing into smoke. Inside, chaos reigns. Gunfire, screams, dozens of Fisk's men, trying to move crates stamped with the Wayne Tech logo. Batman crashes through a skylight, his silhouette framed in fire. Smoke grenades hiss. Shadows swallow the gunman whole. Daredevil dives in seconds later, a blur of red fury and rage. 2 storms tearing through corruption. For the first time, they fight together, Batman's strategy and Daredevil's intuition syncing like clockwork. Every move complements the other. One strikes, the other disarms. One plans, the other improvises. In minutes, it's over. The thugs lie broken, groaning among the shattered crates. Daredevil kneels beside one, pressing his fingers to the man's throat. Fisk was selling these to someone in Gotham, he says quietly. Batman narrows his eyes. Who? The man chokes out 2 words. Black Mask. And in that instant, their worlds collide completely. Roman Siones, the Black Mask, Gotham's crime lord, expanding his empire through New York, using Fisk's network to distribute Wayne's stolen tech. Now the pieces make sense. 2 cities, 1 syndicate, and a storm that neither man can stop alone. The silent alliance in the fire's glow. They stand face to face again. Rain hisses on burning steel. Batman studies Daredevil, the fighter, the faith, the fury. He sees something familiar in him. The kind of pain that drives men past limits. You've got rules, Batman says quietly. So do you, Daredevil replies. Then we understand each other. No handshake, no promises, just mutual recognition. Two warriors realizing they're on the same side of hell. The mission has changed. It's not about Gotham. It's not about Hell's Kitchen. It's about what happens when both cities burn. Because somewhere in the shadows, Black Mask and Kingpin have already made their next move. And this time it's personal. Two dark nights, two cities on the brink, and one storm that could consume them both. The line between Gotham and Hell's Kitchen has vanished. Two empires of crime, Kingpin's network and Black Mask Syndicate, have merged. Their alliance is simple. Fisk controls the money, Mask controls the weapons. And together they plan to unleash both cities into chaos. Somewhere between those worlds, Batman and Daredevil prepare for the night that will define them both. Inside a derelict church on the outskirts of the kitchen, Daredevil listens to the silence. Every heart in the city is beating faster tonight. Fear. Anticipation. Something big is coming. Batman emerges from the shadows behind the altar, his silhouette framed by candlelight. No sound. No words. Just purpose. This is where they'll make the transfer, Daredevil says, tilting his head toward the docks. Wayne Tech prototypes, enough to level blocks. Batman nods. Black Mask doesn't care about control anymore. He wants to make Gotham irrelevant. Daredevil smirks faintly. You think he can out-chaos your city? Batman's voice rumbles low. He's trying. They both know what's coming. The biggest gang war either has ever faced. A night neither city will forget. The clock strikes midnight. Fog rolls off the East River. Dozens of armored trucks line the dock, flanked by Fisk's enforcers and Black Mask soldiers. A shared empire trembling on greed. Then the lights go out. Panic spreads. And out of the smoke, two shadows strike. Batman drops from a crane, cape slicing through mist. Daredevil vaults through steel beams, twin batons humming through the air. It's a massacre not of blood, but precision. Silent takedowns, broken weapons, a symphony of movement. Batman dismantles Fisk's guards like machines. Daredevil moves through chaos like he's dancing with the wind. Together they are unstoppable, but their enemies are endless. The Kingpin himself emerges from the fog, massive and calm. Impressive, he growls. But you're both just men. And beside him, Roman Siones, the Black Mask, laughing beneath his obsidian grin. Men who play gods, he sneers, and forget that even gods can bleed. He raises a detonator. The docks erupt. The blast tears through concrete and flame. Batman's armor absorbs the impact, but Daredevil is thrown across the pier, crashing through a steel wall. Smoke fills the air. Sirens wail in the distance. Batman crawls to his feet, cape in tatters, systems fried. He sees Daredevil struggling to rise, blood trailing down his jaw. And through the flames, Black Mask dragging crates toward a departing freighter. Go, Daredevil rasps. I'll stop Fisk. Batman hesitates. But one look, that familiar stubbornness in Murdoch's voice, and he understands. They've both fought alone their whole lives. Tonight they fight together. Batman vanishes into the inferno, chasing Mask. Daredevil limps toward Kingpin. Fisk swings like a battering ram. Every punch shakes the ground. But Daredevil doesn't block, he moves. He listens to the rhythm. The heavy breath, the thundering heart. And in that rhythm he finds the opening. A strike to the ribs. A crack to the jaw. A final blow to the head that drops the Kingpin like stone. Fisk collapses, defeated. But the victory doesn't feel like triumph. It feels like survival. Daredevil breathes through the pain, his heartbeat steady. Somewhere, beyond the smoke, he hears it, the echo of Batman's battle. Batman lands on the freighter deck, facing Black Mask. The villain grins, detonator in hand. You can't save them all, he snarls. Not Gotham. Not New York. Not yourself. Batman's voice is calm. I only need to save one city, yours or mine. Mask lunges, swinging a pipe. Batman catches it mid-swing, disarming him with a bone-crunching twist. The detonator falls into the water. But Black Mask doesn't give up. He pulls a gun, his final move. A single clink stops him. Daredevil's billy club ricochets from the shadows, knocking the weapon from Mask's hand. Batman turns, surprised. Daredevil, limping, bloodied, but smiling faintly. Told you I'd catch up. Batman finishes it. A strike, a grapple, a crash, and the Black Mask is down. The freighter burns behind them. The city skyline glows red in reflection. 2 cities saved. 2 men changed. At dawn, the police swarm the docks. Fisk and Mask are taken in. The weapons destroyed. On a nearby rooftop, Batman stands beside Daredevil as the sun rises between their worlds. Gotham could use a man like you, Batman says. Daredevil shakes his head. Hell's Kitchen still needs its devil. A rare smile flickers beneath the cowl. Batman nods. Then keep it safe. The 2 men stand in silence, warriors who finally understand one another. No medals, no cheers, just peace, brief and fragile, before they vanish into their respective nights. One returns to Gotham, the other to Hell's Kitchen, but both know something new. They are not alone in the dark anymore. Because even in different worlds, the night belongs to them. The Dark Knight and the man without fear. 2 men shaped by pain, guided by faith, bound by justice, not enemies, not rivals, just shadows guarding the cities that built them.